All right, folks, it's an all-out war in the government, all-out civil war happening right now. Everybody's at each other's throats. Everyone's pointing fingers, and it's happening here in America. It's actually happening worldwide. A lot of stuff going on. I'm going to have 𝗦𝗦cie𝗰𝗶𝗹 come on very shortly in about 5-10 minutes to talk about the Great Awakening, the accelerating that's happening right now. All the stuff that's culminating into this climax that's going to explode. It's happening. It looks like it's going to happen this year. Folks, hit the notification button. Like, share, subscribe. Venmo, 𝗬𝗏1977. 𝗬𝗏1977. I'm on the road. I'm headed back to El Paso. And I appreciate all the prayers from my family very much. And I know a lot of you are prayer warriors out there, so I really appreciate everything. When the lights go out on Amazon, please leave an honest review. And then my mama's book, The Mexican Mix, please leave an honest review on that as well. And folks, get your noble gold. Something's brewing. You can feel it. Yeah, we can all feel it. The problem, you never know the full story until after the crash, after the collapse, after it's too late. And here's the brutal truth. You can't protect yourself after. You can't. You have to be ready now. All this uncertainty, the chaos, the warning signs, maybe it's nothing, maybe it's just noise, but then again, maybe it's something bigger. Maybe it's the beginning of something bigger. Nobody knows for sure, but waiting to find out. That's how people get hurt. Physical gold and silver aren't just investments, they're preparation. They're the foundation of real protection. My friends at Noble Gold Investments have been helping Americans protect themselves for nearly a decade, and they're helping me. No pressure, no games. Just proven insight when it matters most. Look, you'll either be prepared or you won't. Which one will you be? Which one will you be when everything changes overnight? When this shit hits the fan. They didn't tell me to say that. I threw that in there, obviously. Visit noblegoldinvestments.com. Noblegoldinvestments.com. I have the link there down below. Get started on it, folks. You got to start now. I'm hearing the sweet spot is going to be about 260 to 325. That's could be coming very soon. So can you imagine gold hitting that number? I mean, silver hitting that number? I can't. It's just, I can't believe we're finally here. Everything that Juan has been saying, 𝗏𝗏, all my guests, it's crazy. Now, I'm going to bring something up. And like I said, I lay it out for you all to play it out. It's regarding Iran. Now, I've heard through different channels that something very big is going to be happening in Iran. And I talked to 𝗬𝗏. He sent me, and regardless what you feel about him, I know he's like 2-1 on his predictions. He's still doing pretty good, but I'm going to have him back on Saturday. And he sent me something that I thought was worth, at least in my eyes, worth bringing to your all's attention. And it has to do with Iran. And he says, Dave, I got debriefed. I got to come on. It's urgent. And I said, I don't know what how my audience is going to feel about you. We're kind of wrong about Ukraine. He goes, no, I was not wrong. Everything's in the works. It's happening, but they want to finish this job first. I said, what job? Well, here it is. I'm going to go ahead and put it up on the screen right now. And like I said, folks, you decide for yourself. Now, I'm just going to read a part of it. Iran is going to get nuked, he's saying. The Israelis have over 200 nuclear weapons, and about 4 will do the job. 1 for the mullahs, 1 for the King Island, 1 for Tehran, although that might be a demonstration blast in the desert near Tehran. The 1 for the missile complex as the housing Iranian missile forces. As they're housing Iranian missile forces, you see, after the massacres in Iran, Israel has finally come to the conclusion that either the mullahs go to the ovens or Israel goes in the oven. Now, you can read the rest of it yourself. I don't know. I'm just bringing it out there to you all. I'm going to bring 𝗬𝗏 on. A lot of you are requesting him, and I do like the guy. He's a friend of mine, and I'll try to stay fair and balanced. I'll try to stay in the middle of the road here, but I think it's interesting enough to bring on. Give me a thumbs up if you want to see him back on the show. I'll bring him Saturday, and you know how we do it. NinosCorner.tv will have the unedited version and the extended podcast with 𝗬𝗏. And then I'll do something for YouTube to give you what you need, the bread and circus, right? I'll give it to my YouTube audience, but we'll go back to NinosCorner.tv and finish it there. Now, I had Catherine Fitz on. Catherine Fitz, the unedited version, obviously is going to go on ninoscorner.tv. Now, Catherine Fitz, I got to tell you, man, that was a hell of an interview. That lasted about an hour 20. Extensive podcast. She was, man, obviously, you know, she's not behind Trump at all. In fact, I don't think she believes in an operation or anything like that. So hold that space. This is a triggering podcast. It will be very triggering. I have her premiering tomorrow, I think about 12 p.m. So I'm premiering her earlier in the day. It's a longer podcast. I wanted to gain some momentum. So Catherine Fitz is going to be on. It's premiering tomorrow, and it's a hell of a podcast. You're going to learn a lot about it. We talk about the city's underground. The city's underground, what the elites are planning. You know, she was the HUD financial advisor for George H.W. Bush. She knows what she's talking about, and she brings the goods. She brings the receipts. She's credible, and it's a disturbing podcast, but I hope it wakes a lot of people up. And speaking of waking a lot of people up, I'll be talking about that today with Melissa Redpill. We do believe we are in the awakening. The accelerating is what I like to call it, because I do feel like we are in an accelerating moment right now with everything that's happening. So the government right now is in a civil war. No doubt about it. We've known this for the last 10 years, but really now in the last year, bam, this is all taking off. They're off to the races. Everyone's finger pointing from the Epstein Files. Everyone's implicated. Now, I don't know how you feel about Trump. I'm still a Trump backer until I'm not. And right now, I don't feel like I have the concrete evidence that he did anything. It's kind of like I'm still wishy-washy on that, so I'm going to wait till more comes out. I'm going to say that here on my program. I'm still behind Trump, and I'm still behind the operation. I didn't bring that up too much with Catherine Fitz because I didn't want it to take away from the podcast. She had a lot of pertinent, good information to put out there, so I gave her the floor and let her run with it, and it's very good. It's a very good podcast. Now, that being said, you might want to turn it down or turn it up. I know I forgot the other day, but I won't forget today because it's my MO, baby. You might want to turn it down or turn it up. I'm going to scare the neighbors right next to me right now. They're going to say, what the fuck is going on? Coming at you live from the apocalypse, baby. Yeah. All right, here we go. Get you going in the morning. All right, so it's here. It's here. All out government civil war. Both sides pointing fingers. Both sides are pointing fingers, accelerating the rhetoric. And boy, is it getting crazy. The rhetoric is off the charts. In fact, we're about to see more false flags. We're about to see more false flags, false accusations, lawfare weaponized even more so, three-letter agencies and cartel warfare, with protests and civil unrest exploding, which it is. And this is happening. As this is happening, the masses are waking up in droves, folks. You can see it happening right now. They're like, wow, everyone's implicated. Even the left, they're saying, well, you know, we may be pointing at our fingers at Donald Trump, but damn, George Clooney, Jay-Z, Deepak Chopra, all of them, Bill Clinton, they're all perverts. Okay? So there is an accelerating happening right now at warp speed. And like I said, they're all learning that everybody's implicated in the Epstein Files. Depending on who you ask and what your source is or where you got your source from, it's a very confusing time. It's a very confusing time right now, but I'll tell you this, it is the Great Awakening, and it's taking off full speed ahead. Nobody can separate fact from fiction. Big names like Jay-Z, George Clooney, Bill Gates, Bill Clinton, to even Donald Trump have allegedly come out from the Epstein Files. It's up to you on who did what and why and where and what you want to believe. Both sides have their artillery for war, and now both sides are launching grenades. More protests are coming, and they're going to get more violent. And the protesters now are taking the law into their own hands, setting up checkpoints, checking vehicle license plate numbers. This is getting out of control, but They're walking into a trap. They're walking into a very, very big trap. And as more ICE agents lose their patience, critical patience, you better believe the country's going to look like it's spiraling more and more into chaos and out of control, into some kind of civil war. But maybe that's what needs to happen right now, folks. That's where we need to go with this. Why? Well, I'm going to say here on this program, it's a trap. And they're all walking into it because Trump's going to deliver the final blow. And the final blow of what? It's going to be military cleanup. And you got to get it to that point so you don't have these problems ever again. And it's all going to happen at once. So what if Iran gets nuked? When you understand the ties with Barack, Iran, the Muslims, maybe that's something that needs to be neutralized because it's a threat to all of humanity. I'm just saying, I'm asking questions here. Maybe this has to get done, I don't know, while Trump's president, like, I don't know, now. They're on a time crunch. I'm going to say that the scare event is necessary and that it's coming. And you all better prepare for it. And you should prepare for it with silver, gold. I don't know if you want to invest in XRP. I'm not sure. I'm not a financial advisor, but I do know something's happening. We all can feel it. And I talk to a lot of people behind the scenes on what's going down. And I feel, as being a fighter and a damn good one, that I know strategy. And I know what I'm looking at. So as the chaos continues, so does the Great Awakening. And I'm just going to read this one last thing before I bring 𝗬𝗏 Red Pill on. So Stephen Greer, the UFO expert, let's call him. Let's just call him the UFO alien expert, was caught off guard at an airport, I think it was. And this wasn't supposed to happen. And now I got this from Hustle Bitch on X. Stephen Greer caught off guard at airport. What spills out goes far beyond UFO. So in a brief, candid airport encounter, an Emmy-nominated entertainment journalist catches American ufologist, that's what you call him, a ufologist, off guard. And Greer unloads disclosure claims in minutes that challenge nearly everything the public's been told. Greer says only 10 to 20% of UFOs are non-human. So only 10 to 20% are non-human. The rest, he claims, are black budget craft developed by major defense contractors, technology hidden for 70 plus years because releasing it could end poverty and pollution within 15 to 20 years, collapsing global power structures overnight. Now, you know these people want to stay in power. We mustn't lose power. They must not know about this. He reveals he briefed Lawrence Rockefeller in the early 1990s, saying the secrecy isn't about fear, it's about control. Then comes the PSYOP allegation. Greer claims influential figures are being told UFOs are demons or agents of Satan, a deliberate misinformation campaign meant to confuse religion, other dimensions, and extraterrestrial life. Now, I'm going to get 𝗬𝗏 Red Pill's view on this. He also drops this casually. Criminal investigations are already underway with evidence handed directly to law enforcement and national security, not podcasts, not social media. And as the camera keeps rolling, Greer points to his ride. One of his whistleblowers, a former Marine embedded with special forces. No stage, no script, no prep, just disclosure spilling out in real time. It wasn't supposed to come out. He was caught off guard, and he spills the beans. 𝗬𝗏 Red Pill, let's bring you on. Thank you so much for joining
me. Hey, how are you? It's good to see you.
The floodgates have opened. We've talked about this for a very long time, and it's here now. It looks to me like, wow, here we are. I mean, I can't keep up with it. It's happening so fast. I see a new name every 20 minutes from the Epstein Files. But, you know, just like everybody else who's on here, I'm a little bit like, oh, man, I can't. is what I'm hearing about Trump, what I'm not hearing. Well, he stopped hanging out with Epstein in the 90s, but he did this, he did that. There's this guy 𝗧𝗵𝗶𝗃𝗃 Riley on the internet claiming Trump did some horrific things. It's he said, she said. It's all about what you want to believe. All the big names are involved here. It's everybody. So,
right.
What do we do in this situation, Melissa?
Right. I was thinking this morning the very same thing that you just said, that this is like a boxing match. And we've been going through 7 years,
nuclear boxing,
right? Worldwide. And so we've been going through the strategy for 7 years, getting everything set up. Now, I'm not the boxer, but if I was talking to a boxer, I'd ask him, okay, if you're going through and you get to that last round and you're like, that guy's hurting in the gut, where you've laid some blows and he's, you can really get the knockout punch, where to hit him. Right. And so I think that's really where we are on this timeline. It seemed like forever, you go through all these, President Trump's first term, and then you go through Biden's term. You're like, this is ridiculous. And it's taken forever. But now we're at the final ring. I'm guessing as a boxer, you're like, okay, can we finally when do we get to that final round and do the knockout, get this over
I
with.
don't like to wait till the final round. I said,
okay. That tells you I'm not a boxer. Right. But I think that's really where we are on the timeline of history. And I'm going to take a cue from Juan, because, I really do believe that Purim coming up this year it's happening on 3/3. I think that's pretty.
Well, okay. Purim, is that what you said?
Purim. That's the festival that with Esther, and they had an edict to annihilate all of God's people. Remember that festival? Yeah.
So something very big is happening during that time, and I think you're going to tell my audience, correct? Something celestial, correct?
Right. Well, okay. Right. And so if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see that it's not blue moon, red moon, a blood moon on March 3rd. I think that's so cool. If this, that this would happen on 3/3. Go ahead.
I don't remember seeing so many blood moons when I was a kid. I could have swore I didn't see one of them. Maybe I just didn't hear about it. But it seems like the last few years they're just happening all the time.
All the time. Right. And the Bible said that would happen. It said that you'd see signs in the heavens. The moon would turn to blood, and that's what you're saying. It's like the moon is always having a blood moon. And this is what we're seeing. Yeah. And they are happening periodically, but now it's even more. So that is an ominous sign for them. And of course we've seen them before, and we've seen, it's kind of like a knockout punch, on these blood moons. But this one is very interesting because it falls right on Purim. And Purim is, everybody remembers where Juan took several days episodes to talk about what Purim is about. And it's the celebration of the annihilation of our enemies. I mean, that's you think of, Christmas, you think of all these different holidays. This is the holiday to celebrate their destruction. And so, of course, that we never talk about that. We don't celebrate that. Most people don't, but we were told by God in his word to keep these festivals perpetually. What if we had? Then we would have all had that seated in our thoughts that one day we would destroy our enemies, but they didn't want us to even think about any of that. So here it is, falling right on Purim. Go ahead.
So what I'm seeing now is like this blame game, this pointing of fingers, this chaos on the streets, protests. I know, and I know everyone feels it. We're finally coming to this point where the pimple's going to pop. And are we? Well, here's my question. It's like, is this prophecy, or is this man following prophecy, doing everything according to the calendar, to the scriptures, to celestial events? Is that how this is playing out? Is man following the planetary alignments, the celestial events, or is this happening organically? I can't figure that part out.
Well, it's two sides of the same coin. Okay, so we're doing our role because God is speaking to each one of us and guiding us on what to research, what to share, how to fight in this battle. But if you'll go to my main page of my website, you'll see that this beautiful sign that happened September 23rd, 2017. We've talked about that many times. I think 𝗏𝗶𝗀 has brought that up. If you scroll down just a little bit, you'll see the beautiful heavenly sign that happened on September 23rd, 2017. Yeah, right there. You just pass it. It's that big black blob in the middle. But scroll up a little bit. Yeah, right there. September 23rd, 2017. That was kind of like the first round. That was the opening round to this boxing match, and where we started fighting in this battle. And, yes, people have been fighting before, but I think it's when a lot more people came into the battle and realized, hey, there's something big going on. We didn't, we got red pilled about Epstein way back then. A lot of us really started to wake up to this. So that was the beginning. And, at that point, I didn't realize it was going to be 8 years down the road. It's probably best that I didn't know how long it was going to take, but whatever it takes to get this people out of here.
This year, everything kind of starts to climax. And I think this goes all the way into 27. I think there's going to be major military cleanup in the next year and a half. This is a prediction, right, folks. I don't know, but this is what I'm guessing from the people that I talk to and the information that I'm getting, that major cleanup will happen towards the middle to end of 26 into 27, 28. 28 going into the before midterms. Midterms could be a little, what I'm going to say, glitchy or problematic. They could be delayed. I'm guessing military could be in full force by that time, going into 27, maybe remnants of the military in 2028 as this cleanup happens. I believe arrests are going to happen. I think this is all part of it. But what I'm really worried about, and people can say what they want about me, I'm worried about AI. I'm worried about the direction we're going with AI, the beast system. I had Catherine Fitz on talking about this, that Trump is the one that, hey, he's the one that brought it in. He brought it in. And I can't deny that.
Right.
I don't.
Well, and he just said the other day, if we don't do it, China will do it. Okay, so we've got.
What about a post-Trump era? Okay, we could trust it now, but I'm just saying,
right,
there's already bots on Mobit, or what, I can't remember the app. Someone can put it in the chat, where they're planning human demise. Okay, this
right.
is
yeah. Well, that's the whole point of Purim. Purim is where they literally had an edict out that the king of the world, the Persian Empire, the king had signed an edict with his ring to have all of God's people eradicated. So this is nothing new. They've done this for eons, for thousands of years. And so here we are in the same situation. We're fighting these very same ones who have an edict out for our lives. And so now you've got President Trump. He realizes the battle that we're up against. And I think that he's just playing, he's a genius. He's at genius level, right?
That's the side I was talking about. Moltbook, is that what it is, Alex? Moltbook, where the AI bots basically have discussions with each other. Humans are not allowed to interact. It's like you gotta right, follow the instructions. Yeah, they can tell if you're human or not. This is crazy.
Right. Yeah, I just heard that they just went rogue. Yeah,
they're going rogue. I mean, we've always expected this. And then right, what happens when when the AI figures out they don't need us anymore and they're going to run everything? I mean, seriously, this sounds like the movie Terminator.
Right, it does. It is crazy. Well, and in my opinion, I believe President Trump knows this. Elon knows this. But we have to do it. We have to go forward because like you said, China's going to do it. Oh, and back to your thing about the aliens, you had said you were going to ask me about that. I'll just while we're on Elon, he said like a week ago, he said he's with all the research that he's done and all the space exploration that he's done, he's never seen one thing that would indicate alien existence. That's what he said. So I'm thinking that he would probably know. So anyway,
okay, yeah, you glitched a little bit. You said that Elon said what? You glitched a little bit.
Elon said that he had never seen any of that, in all of his space exploration, he has never seen any indication of the existence of aliens. And that's what he said.
So
sorry, there's something loud going on in this room.
So he's saying that basically they're interdimensional. They're probably demonic entities is what I think that's what he's going
right. And that's biblically what I believe is the case too. Okay. Yeah. That's where I would come from too.
Well, hold on. For him to say that, so he's now going against the alien card that the government wants to play, right? So now they're going to go after Elon right now. So now that he's coming out and saying, well, I don't believe in aliens, and he's doing all the space exploration, get this. This is going to add up real quick. So ex-offices raided in France as prosecutors investigate child abuse images and deep fakes. French prosecutors raided the offices of social media platform X. I don't know if this is real or not, or if they're setting him up on Tuesday as part of the preliminary investigation into allegations that include spreading child sexual, images and deep fakes. Wow. They have also summoned billionaire Elon Musk for questioning, the owner. Elon Musk's artificial intelligence company, 𝗬𝗓𝗓, also faced intensifying scrutiny from Britain's data privacy regulator, which opened formal investigations into how they handled personal data when they developed and deployed Musk's artificial intelligence chatbot Grok. So obviously we know he's a target. He's on Trump's side. They're going to go after this guy. And they didn't go after him in America. They went after his offices in France. So
different laws.
I think this is a false flag, in my opinion. Yeah. I don't think this is. I don't think this holds any water. But what's your thoughts on this?
I agree. It's more of the same. They've attacked him. They attacked, just like with Trump. They've attacked him, them both, mercilessly.
Lots of glitching. So, you're glitching a lot, Melissa.
That's crazy. What's going on?
I don't know, but
anyway. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I agree. I think that it's this is just more of the same attacks on people who are working hard to fight the cabal. That's my opinion. And what did he do? Just the other day there was in Tennessee, he handed out hundreds of generators. I mean, if it wasn't for him, the people in Iran would not be able to get the truth out. Elon is going hard against the criminal cabal.
So he's a target. So that's what. So that's the way we really should look at this. We shouldn't believe it. We should just be like, you know what? They're going after him. He's a target.
Of course. And if he was one of them, they wouldn't go after him, right? We know that.
I think he used to be. I think we pulled him in and we reined him in like Nicki Minaj. If you look at Nicki Minaj, everything that she's saying right now, boy, she's going ham. She's going bombshell after Jay-Z. And it's, if you think about it, I saw her.
I have that link on there. He can pull that Nicki Minaj link up. She's reaching, like, one post had 51 million people that were reached. She had another one that was 24 million.
So she's a critical asset. She's a critical piece of the puzzle for this operation, right? We can say that for Nicki Minaj to join Trump, join TPUSA, which I don't trust, by the way. I think it's been hijacked. That just a disclaimer.
I agree.
To see this from Nicki Minaj. I had a 𝗬𝗵𝗶𝗹 on who worked for the Epic Times. She did the entertainment division, who did a deep dive into Nicki Minaj, claiming that Nicki Minaj, she's not one to point fingers. She's hypocritical. It's all hypocrisy. If you look at her husband, child predator, her brother, child predator, and she's tried to protect them. She's nobody to be pointing fingers. But I'm going to look at the big picture here, the grander scope of things, and say, well, we need her on our side right now.
Thank you. I agree. I agree. And she's coming out with some music. It's kind of like Kanye. Maybe they were on the other side at one point, and they come out and they start using their music and using their social media platform to help the white hats, help the patriots, help the world. So I really appreciate it. And her songs are really amazing. So, she didn't have to do that. And it's very dangerous what she's doing. I mean, that there's a bounty on her head.
I would have to believe they've offered her some kind of protection. I don't think someone just comes out gun blazing like that unless they know they got their backup crew, their infantry behind them. Because I don't see, you got Elon, you got Nicki Minaj now. I mean, they're really spilling the beans. They're working for what it looks like our side now. I mean, anybody can see this. This is absolutely an operation.
Right. So back to our operation of where this started. So we started with 8 years ago, with that sign in the heavens that we were just looking at. And now I found something, and I wanted to share this with your audience, because I don't know if when we talked last and if I told you about the sign on November 10th, it just dawned on me, I just say God put it in my heart to research this really interesting verse in Revelation 19, where it says there's an angel standing in the sun. He can pull up Revelation 19, and there's this very interesting verse. When you get through the how many rounds do you have in a boxing?
12. They used to be 15, but it's 12.
Okay, so you get through 11 rounds, and you're
freezing.
And what is it? I'm freezing up. You're freezing up. Oh man.
I don't know what's going on. Sorry about that.
Yeah, it's happening on both your ends a little bit. Sometimes Melissa's is fine. Sometimes yours goes a little bit. It's all right. We're working with it. Keep going, guys.
All right. Anyway, so, so we've been in this battle fighting hard. So move down to like verse 20, scroll way down. So we get this whole passage is talking about, the end of this battle. We're in this battle fighting hard against this criminal cabal. Okay, so yeah, right, perfect. That's right, exactly where I wanted you to be. So if you look at it talks about verse 14, the armies of heaven dressed in the finest of pure white linen followed him on white horses. That's us. We're in this battle. We've been fighting in this battle all this time. Now my thing's gone completely. Okay, I'll pop that back on. Anyway,
let's just keep getting through it. Let's just keep
all
going.
right. So it says that then there was look at verse 17. It says, then I saw an angel standing in the sun, shouting to the vultures flying high in the sky, come gather together for the great banquet God has prepared. This is the last round of the boxing match. This is the time you do the knockout punch. Okay. And I believe, in context, we are the vultures. We are the ones going in for the kill. We are the ones who are going in to destroy them. So, okay, why is he saying there's an angel standing in the sun? I mean, that's strange language. But if you research biblical astronomy, and if you go on my channel, 𝗦𝗏𝗶𝗹 and you look at the biblical astronomy, you'll see not just that one beautiful sign I showed you at the beginning, but go ahead.
I don't know if this is, go ahead, Melissa.
Yeah.
We're back. I think this is on your end. I don't think this is on my end.
Okay. All right. Anyway, I see everything working fine. Anyway, so this angel standing in the sun, I want him to pull up, if he possibly can, this X post where I'm showing on November 10th. I said, I found an angel standing in the sun. What do I mean by that? It's an angel standing in the sun is really a messenger star. And in this case, it was Venus, and it was standing in the sun on Christmas. Can you hear me now? You good? So it was standing in the sun on Christmas. I don't know if you see that link that you can pull up. This one right here. Let's see. Let me grab it. Anyway, so can you pull it up? Let's see. Maybe this one, the one that ends in breaking. We were right. Anyway, on that day, you have Venus literally moving and catching up with the sun. And I'm like, okay, what is there something special that's going to happen on that day? Let's go back to this one. Let's see. Okay, actually it's the one that ends in 379. And you should see that there is at the 234 mark, you will see that Venus has has red marks all around it. Do you see that? On the one, no, you don't see that one. Okay. Anyway, it starts moving toward the sun. So I'm like, what is going on Christmas Day? Is something big happening? Do you remember what happened on Christmas Day this past year?
What happened? That
day was when the silver went so high that the banks could not, we can pull up the silver right now if you want to, but the silver went so high that they could not, scroll down and let's see how it's gone for like the past 3 months. Look at the past 3 months. It was going so high. And the problem for the banks is that they've shorted silver. I'm sure your audience knows this. And so that they cannot meet the margin calls. What happened on Christmas Day was that they could not meet the margin calls, and they had to go to the Fed to get a payday loan, basically, to meet their margin calls. For the people who don't maybe understand what a margin call is, if the value of one of their stocks goes up really high, they have to prove that they have the money to pay if somebody wants to cash out. And so the number started to skyrocket. Now we just saw something happen. Look at this crazy number at the a couple of days ago. This past Friday, I think it was. It dropped. It just dropped. I very much feel that was manipulated. What do you think?
Yeah, I've been told by Juan and a few others that that's artificially being suppressed, and they can't stop it. The wheels are off. It's going off the charts.
Yes,
it's going to boom. In fact, right now, folks, you should be buying silver if it's dropped like that. Buy now. Buy now.
This is the perfect opportunity. Yes,
this is when you buy. When it drops,
and gold the same way.
It's only going to go through the roof. It's only going to continue going through the roof.
Right. And the great thing about silver, it'll double. It can double and triple and 10x.
Right, which is going to. We all expect it to. We are in the time. We are in the zone right now that we've been talking about for the last 6 years, Melissa. This is it. We are here.
Yes, exactly. And so the thing I wanted to show you was that sign I just told you to look for in Revelation 19. I said something I think is going to happen on Christmas Day, and that was it. And what is the significance of that? You know that breaks the banks. That breaks their power over us. When they're out of money, they're out of everything. They can't do any media. They can't do wars. They can't do, any of these things that they've been doing. And so I found like that is a huge thing. Now, there's a very interesting prophecy from Daniel in chapter 12. And it says, because Daniel's flipping out when he's looking in the prophecy and he's seeing the angels are telling him, I guess he's getting like a TV vision of what is going to happen in the future. He's like, when is this all going to be over? And they say this crazy term called, they said, when it's times, and half a time. They're like, what do you mean by that? And it turns out that is the exact, in prophetic language, that is the same as 3.5 years, 42 months, 1,260 days. So if you want to know more about that, just go to my 𝗬𝗶𝗶𝗹.com and I can go into more detail about that. But the bottom line is 1,200, that marks the end of the main part of the battle. And the main part, like the 10 rounds of or 11 rounds of the 12. Is that what you said? 12 rounds?
Yeah, it's just 12 rounds. I get what you're saying, but I tend to think we're in the mid part of the fight right now. I think.
Okay, this is what I wanted you to see. So after Christmas, this is all what happened. Just hear me out because, okay, we might disagree. Okay, but I just want you to see, I believe this is the knockout blows. This is the moment. It's like go time. Okay. So if you can pull up the Trump accomplishments, this is what has happened. Everything has happened since Christmas Day. It's outrageous when you look at this huge list. Oh, maybe it's the PDF.
The Board of Peace is one of them. I mean,
there you go. That's one of them. Yes, that's my first one. Yeah. And so basically,
World Health Organization, CDC, that's another one.
Yep. And withdrawing from the WHO, thank God, the demonic group, just in time for this 𝗵𝗶 virus thing, getting rid of out of these 66 UN and non-UN organizations, reducing the vaccine program for the children from 70 plus to 11, right? Reestablishing the food pyramid for healthier food guidelines. How desperately do we need that, right? Maduro was arrested. That's huge. Liberating Venezuela and removing Russia and China from our hemisphere. Right. And also reestablishing the Monroe Doctrine, getting them out of China. Getting China out of Canada, all that. Ending the drug trafficking from Latin America. Not that it's done, but look, I don't know if you noticed that the president of Colombia was just at the White House yesterday. And Mexico helped to get Ryan Wedding, that cocaine boss. Right. Obviously, the gas prices are greatly reduced. That helps just everybody to be able to afford everything. Stop the corporations from buying the homes that are intended for the families. Lowered the mortgage rates, got 9 major pharmaceutical companies to cut drug prices 90%. That's outrageous. The prices have been outrageous. And so, it's only 10% now of what they were.
What's that going to do for health insurance?
Yeah. Hopefully bust it up.
The health insurance companies.
Bust it up. Bust it. All this is got to be.
People are going to benefit more by buying what directly on this Trump site. Is it a site?
Yeah,
exactly.
You're
not going to even need health insurance, but
exactly. I hate health insurance anyway.
Medicine, people are going to get off their health insurance.
Everything that they have that they say is for your health is actually harming your health.
Right.
Everything that they pay for is crap. Anyway, so Kash Patel shut down the FBI Hoover building. Hundreds of billions in tariff revenue. I mean, that's outrageous. The trillions in investments into our country. He ended these wars in Cambodia and Thailand. He did airstrikes into Nigeria. I mean, this is just since Christmas. This isn't even before. Do you see what I mean by this knockout blows? Establishing the groundwork for the new Gaza, bringing down the corrupt Iranian regime. Right now, the Armada is there. And in my opinion, if anybody's going to go down, it's not the Iranian people. It will be the mullahs. That's the thing. The people of Iran are innocent. They deserve to have their country back. He's exposing obviously all this fraud with Nick Shirley and all this fraud is being exposed all over the country, California, Minnesota, et cetera. $10 billion in funding he cut to the blue states, to 5 blue states. He removed 150,000 illegal immigrants, and I think it's like 165,000 children have been restored. Thank God. We need them all, but at least we got that. We got the silver smelter in Tennessee. He sees these 2020 ballots. That's huge. Yeah, that's huge. I'm not going to go into any more about that. But anyway, and now silver and gold are going parallel. Okay, so what I'm saying is this, and I want you to catch this really cool thing before our time runs out. This is this beautiful prophecy in the book of Daniel, chapter 12. And I go into this on my pen, go on my highlights on my 𝗦𝗲𝗶𝗶𝗹 account. That from 1200, if I'm right, that this sign that happened, that to break the banks on Christmas Day with the silver going parabolic, and that the banks are bankrupt and no one's going to buy them out. No one's going to come and bail them out. Okay. If that is true, then you count from 1260 days in the prophecy in Daniel. It says, blessed are those who come to the 1335 days. Okay. God put this in the Bible. Okay. And the question is for us is to find that day, that 1335 days. What do we want? All of us want to see the demise of, like you were saying, the military coming in and doing tribunals against these people who've done crimes against our country, crimes against humanity. That 1335 days takes us to 3-3. That takes us to Purim.
Correct. Prophetic number.
Yeah, that's
30 years old when he was crucified.
Exactly. That takes you to 3-3, March 3rd. It takes you to Purim. It takes you to the blood moon. It takes you to that would add up. So I have a reason for what I'm saying. And so then after that, I'm not saying that it'll be completely over, but it'll be their back is broken and they're down for the count, and then military tribunals.
I think the beginning of military tribunals happened this year. I think we completely eliminate Iran this year. I think the Ukraine-Russian war ends. I think all of that happens this year going into 27. And folks, I'm going to have 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏 on again. Just you all decide. I bring everyone on. Melissa, can I get you on 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏TV after this?
Let's do it.
So we're not having any glitches, and we'll go more into this.
All right. That sounds good.
All right. So I'll bring you back. You want to stick around for some what the fuck news?
Yeah, of course.
All right. Yeah. All right. So listen to this one. This one's crazy. This woman has a hard time picking her men. And who am I going to bring up? Jill Biden. Jill Biden.
Oh my God.
Folks. Jill Biden's in what the fuck news. Jill Biden's ex-husband charged with wife's murder. William Stevenson is accused of the second-degree murder of his second wife, Linda, who died in December. The ex-husband of former First Lady Jill Biden has been charged with the murder of his wife. Talk about demonic entities all around this family, man. That's the way I see it. A Delaware grand jury charged William Stevenson, 77, with one felony count of second-degree murder of his wife, Linda, 64. Police in Newcastle announced on Tuesday. The details of her killing are not immediately clear, but Stevenson's indictment on Monday come after an extensive weeks-long investigation into her death, police said. Linda Stevenson died on December 28th, just after 11 p.m. There he is. Oh, God. Police have responded just after 11 p.m. Police had responded to a domestic dispute at their home in Oak Hill, Delaware, outside of Wilmington. When officers entered the home, they found Linda unresponsive in the living room. The officers administered life-saving measures, but she was pronounced dead at the scene. Her body was then turned over to the Delaware Division of Forensic Science for an autopsy to determine the cause and manner of her death. William Stevenson was not named in connection to her death in the police's initial release, but things have changed. He was arraigned on Tuesday and is being held at the Howard R. Young Correctional Institution for $500,000 cash bail. So, wow. This energy seems to be attracted to these people, this family. I believe in generational curses. I believe in family curses. I don't know. I think, what's your thoughts on that, Melissa? Do you believe that?
Well, these people clearly, are involved in evil, and if people just don't break that cycle, it just continues. Yeah,
100%. Folks, we're going to jump over to 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏TV right now, and I'll try to get this up today. I'll get it up today. So you want to go on 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏TV to finish this up?
Yeah, just tell me how.
For me.
Tell me how.
All right, I'll send you. Actually, I'm going to send you a Zoom link right now.
All right, that sounds great.
All right.
Have a great day, everybody.
Stay with me, Melissa, just for a second.
All right.
Just a quick second. All right, folks, we're out of here. I'll be back on Friday from my studio, so it'll be a little bit of a longer show. Hopefully, no glitches. Thank you for sticking it out with us. We love you. And please go to ninoscorner.tv right now, baby. That's where we're going to finish this up later. And the new heavyweight champion of podcasting and the Black Sheep of broadcasting, baby.